Having a doctor who understands your life experience can make a difference in your treatment. Not everyone has access to a physician like that, especially in the black community. Despite the fact that black Americans make up about 13% of the population, fewer than 6% of doctors are black. It's even lower for women. Now, Michigan State University's School of Medicine has been a leader in this area. 3 doctors in West Michigan at 3 different places in their careers explained how far we've come and what still needs to change.
And right now, I believe in 1976, we had the same number of black men going into medical school as we did in 2010.
They say change is a process, not an event.
And often when we think about changing big things, we're daunted by the task.
It happens step after step, mile after mile.
Going from 0 to 20 seems so far. But you actually go from 0 to 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5.
Doctors Candace Smith-King, Alexis Carroll, and Wanda Lipscomb all feel the weight of that journey to make a lasting change in the world of medicine.
Residency is hard. Doesn't matter like who you are, and it's even harder when you're a minority. And I think having strong leadership in a position where they can help you and you can see them every day, I think that's huge. It changes the game.
Dr. Wanda Lipscomb is the Dean for Diversity and Inclusion at MSU's College of Human Medicine. She believes having good mentors is the key to improving diversity in the field, and she practices what she preaches.
Dr. Lipscomb is one of those people that poured into me as a medical student. She was one of the first faculty I saw when I was going to MSU's medical school, and she wrapped her arms around me and said, "I'm here for you."
Dr. Smith-King has become an accomplished physician and leader at Spectrum Health. She refers to the head nod, the unspoken acknowledgement of having a coworker who can relate to you.
3% of physicians are black women. And so there's even a lower number of people to give you that head nod when you are in medicine. And when I think about my residents, like Dr. Carroll, who are working sometimes 80 hours a week, you're already at a totally different level of stress and anxiety. So to have that head nod is all you need sometimes to let you know you can push through, you can get through this because somebody else got through it before me.
She now fills that mentorship role for the next generation of doctors, like Alexis Carroll.
Like EM is a very stressful job. You're making like life-saving decisions every day. And it's nice to like look at someone and be like, oh my gosh, they look like me. Okay, they're making those same decisions too, and it just feels better.
Carroll went through the Minority Visiting Scholars Fellowship through Spectrum Health. The program helps recruit med students from underrepresented backgrounds. Dr. Lipscomb has helped lead that same charge at MSU. One of their programs goes back to the early 90s. It's the Advanced Baccalaureate Learning Experience, or ABLE.
We were able to identify a small cadre of students every year who needed a little buffing off.
And by that, meaning maybe students who didn't have the academic resources or support that they needed to be totally ready for medical school?
Exactly. That's a very good way to describe it.
The goal is to start even younger and get children in middle or elementary school interested in medicine. The Reach Out to Youth program does that every year in West Michigan.
We would have in this atrium, right where we are, we would have like 200, 300 elementary school-age kids. They would be sitting here listening to our dean talk, you know, in his white coat talk about medicine.
We really have to make medicine look just like football and basketball. It has to look cool, it has to look exciting, and we just have to get that work done.
Until then, these doctors will continue counting each step, each mile, as small victories in a long journey. Yeah, there's a lot more to do, but the doctors say they are encouraged by the progress that they've seen, and you can read about what they've been through to get to this point and some of the programs available to improve diversity in medicine online now at woodtv.com.